Hello and welcome back to the Northern Lights SMP. This is episode 15, and I think in the last couple of episodes we've really added some incredible builds to increase the detail of this area. We have those two houses behind us there and this big lake over there, and it's all coming together super well. It's pretty incredible that this is episode 15 of the series, and I want to start by saying thank you so much for the support in the last couple of episodes. They've been fantastic. Today's episode, I want to work on my Geode setup. There is a setup that I've seen Bruno and Pixlriffs do lately, and I think it's a fantastic idea, and I would like to do that myself. As part of the design though, we need some Prismarine, and well, we have a little bit. We have a few sea lanterns and a bit of Prismarine. We have enough for a conduit as well, but we really do need more Prismarine. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go raid an ocean monument. There is one ocean monument over that way, I think, that we have defeated the Guardians in a live stream on Kelly Build's Twitch channel. And I think we're going to go over there and just raid it for goodies. But as part of that, I think I would like some water breathing potions. And so for water breathing potions, I believe it is the nether wart as normal, and then the pufferfish, and then we'll add some redstone dust at the end to make longer lasting potions. So we're on the island that leads to the end. The temple is right there, and we've got a few doors just in case, but it should be fine. So let's go grab some dark prismarine and some sea lanterns, I think is what we want the most. So I've gathered my resources and I've brought myself down here. I don't know if I've ever shown this, but this is the way we go down to the mine in this waterfall. And just around here, there is a geode in this little alcove section. And what I want to do is I want to dig this whole area out so that we can see it from down here. And I want to kind of make sort of a hanging enclosure for the geode. We'll waterlog it, and we will also make another kind of hanging enclosure for the conduit as well. And we might clear out all the way through here as well, because here leads into, well, a big cave with a mine shaft there, which might be quite fun. So we'll see how much clearing out we get on with. So I've dug a huge area out using the beacon, and I blocked off the geode so I didn't insta-mine it by mistake. But right here we have got a rough shape of what the cylinder will look like that will contain the conduit inside it, right? And I want to kind of hang it from the ceiling and then work in some sort of, I guess, trussing system, and so that they're both being hung from the ceiling, and kind of tie this whole thing into our mine entrance design, because this is right next to our mining area, and I think maybe having it all linked together and converting it into a massive lush cave but with mining stuff in it could be incredibly cool to do. So we have our conduit here and our dark prismarine, and I think we just want to figure out the shape in the middle, and then we can work around it. So I think that's a good height for the top of this build. And so I think coming down a couple and starting our dark prismarine is probably the best option. So the Heart of the Sea and Nautilus shells together make the conduit, and then we surround it in like a kind of circle shape, I guess. As circle as a block game can do, and there needs to be a gap of air in around each side of it, and then we do the same on this side and this side. Nice. And now that's done, we can build up the surrounding kind of area around it, and like I said, we'll use this shape on either side. And I want to use a mixture of the dark prismarine and the kind of weathered copper. So I brought enough of everything, plus some sea lanterns for lighting inside so we don't get any mob spawns. So this is the basic shape and color combination. I think I'm going, well, I might strip it back and have a few of the weathered options for the copper as well. I think that could look pretty good, as well as this combination here. So we need to fill the thing with water and top it off as well. So as you can see, we've filled it in with water and the conduit is on. If we dive in, you can see it's open and we get the conduit power. Now this will give us night vision when we're under the water and will also help with the breathing. So we can stay, when this is waterlogged, underwater mining pretty much indefinitely, I think. Yeah, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's hanging, but yeah, we'll figure that out now. So I've got a grindstone, I've got some deep slate brick walls, a bunch of stuff that I think might help make this thing look a little better than it is right now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some of the walls and this edge here we're going to line with the deep slate walls, and we're going to do that on all the sides. Cool. And now on the top I think we'll do a grindstone on each one of those points and chain it to the ceiling. And temporarily for lighting on the top I think we'll just add a couple of lanterns hanging. I think once we have the what it's hanging from, I think it will look good to have like the lanterns from that. But for now, we'll just add a few temporary lanterns. Perfect. So now that is in place, we are going to work on the water side of it, or the geode side of it, I suppose. And very similar to this, I think the bottom should be on the same level. And yeah, it'll just be a bit bigger, I guess a bit taller and a bit wider as well. So we need to leave space so that we can get down and mine these budding parts of the geode on either side. So I think we will go where this is, so like give it a space and then go on this side for the width and for the height, and the bottom, yeah, like I said, on this level. So I've started to work on putting this other one in, and my goodness, it is huge. A lot bigger than I originally thought. Maybe I should have dropped it down a little bit, but we'll see over time how it looks compared to the other. But yeah, I thought I cleared enough space. It's a little tight. So at some point we will enable the beacon again, and yeah, cut this back and kind of reshape and terraform. But for now I need to go and grind a few more resources, and I will bring you back when we are a little further along in the build. But the water is in place. We seem to have some tropical fish, okay, and some glow squids. But yeah, this is cool. When you dive in, you get the conduit effect and you can mine away and everything just floats up to the top and you can manually collect it. Now, I know that you can also get things like this with a automated collection, but for now, I think this is completely fine. Leave it open, just dive in and enjoy yourself. So we need to make it feel like it is attached to the ceiling, and so we're going to start with this one here. So I think I want them kind of attached differently. I think I'll attach this one out of here, and this one I think out of maybe the back wall, and we'll see how it looks. So we'll bring these chains up to the same height, and then what I have in mind is to take some dark oak and kind of go across like this and attach it into the wall in here. And then we'll have a 2 gap in between, and we'll do the same thing here. And I have some stairs and slabs of the deep slate variety. And what we want to do is, if I can get this to work, is to have one stair that way and one stair this way, and then in between kind of connect it with a kind of a cross section like that, and then rotate it so the next ones are the other way around. Yeah, I think something like that could look quite nice, and I think we might also want to kind of do a set of stairs kind of connecting it up into the ceiling as well. Oh yeah, I like that. I think that's got the right kind of angle to it on the top. It kind of almost looks like it would hold it up, but remember, this is Minecraft, right? And so it doesn't have to be perfect. So let's add the other one in and see how that looks. Yeah, so we've got the vague kind of hanging structure in place. I think it looks good. I think it needs a few more details. We can go in with some trapdoors, maybe some note blocks or redstone lamps might look really good. Maybe on the corners some redstone lamps might look good. But I'm going to repeat the same process on the other one. We've got the edging, we've got the grindstones, and yeah, we'll deal with the top part as well. So we have both of them set up, and I quite like them. It's quite hard with this ceiling as it is now to get a good view of the other one. Also, we seem to have just created a glow squid farm, but that's okay. That's useful. But I quite like it. And I added some fences in to kind of connect it a little better, and we've gone for note blocks on the corners, and on the back we've just kind of gone for one on each side. So let's go up and take a look. Now from up here we can climb up and dive in and do our mining, but I also think it looks pretty nice from up here as well. Is there anything you would add? That's what I want to know. Anything to these that make it look a little more connected, or maybe I don't know, a little bit of variance, because the dark oak is a little bit samey for me. Now, as I said before, I want to kind of convert this into a nice open, lush cave. And I really have this idea of our tree is just up there where that water is. And I feel like I'd love to see some roots of the tree kind of forcing their way through the ground, and maybe we use the roots of the trees as a way to get down into this area, and we convert that as our kind of entrance into the mine using the trees. And the plan is from those roots to be able to get in and out here, so we don't have to use the scaffolding every time, but for now we can leave the scaffolding up as a temporary block. So now that it's all set up, we can come in with our fortune pickaxe and swim down to the bottom and just start mining. And we can either collect it as we go along, or like this, it will float up to the top and we can collect it on our way out. We also get a lot of glow ink from this, which is, you know, a nice side effect. So as I said before, we could automate the collection, but I think for now this is completely fine. And from just mining those couple of pieces, we've got a stack and a little bit of shards, which we can take back up top with us. And I think that's it for this build. I think these are looking great just now, and when we come back in to transform this whole place and our mine entrance and everything, we will try and link the design of these into our mine entrance. As you know, it is quite hard, well, it's easy to get into this place, but it's hard to get out. So I think it's definitely an important thing to do to make it easier to get in and out to do our geode mining. But for now, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing, and please let me know what you think of today's build and what we should do for the rest of the mine entrance. But for now, bye bye.